A little bit about myself. Well, where do I start? Obviously, my name is Ann Golightly, and I am 67 years old, and long in the tooth and a pensioner. I've been a widow now for 16 years, and I quite enjoy being on my own. And so the rest of it is I have taught for 34 years at a local primary school in Bishop Auckland. And during the time, I really enjoyed everything I did, but it became very restricted and very filling in bits of paper, and I decided to retire. So when I was 56, I retired, and for the last 10 or so years, I've been enjoying a very, very happy retirement. I had no intention when I retired of getting involved in politics. Two friends of mine caught me one night at a weak moment and more or less persuaded me. They needed a woman, they wanted a woman to stand in our area, and they said, would I do it? And at first I said no, but then as they wore me down over the course of 2 hours, I eventually agreed to do it. I didn't think I'd get in, which is why I perhaps agreed to do it, and nobody was more astonished than me when I did get in. One of them has known me of old, and I was always vociferous in my teaching, shall we say. I was, the union rep. I went to the union meetings. I've been on demonstrations and gone to conferences, and so they perhaps thought I was the person. I was the person to do it. Well, the mayor is chosen by election. Somebody nominates you, and then it's seconded, and then there's a vote. But generally, it's a fait accompli after the year before, because last year I was deputy mayor. So it's more the deputy mayor that's more elected, if you like, than the mayor. The mayor's like a rubber stamping of the position, but it's still got to be voted, and I suppose, although it's never happened, but I suppose you can get it where they say, no, we're having somebody else, Well, the role entailed standing in for the mayor when the mayor couldn't make a function. And if I could, I would do it instead. And I did go to some functions with the mayor, because the mayor before, Lee Brownson, he's not married, so he drafted in every female he could possibly draft into accompanying him. So I was one of them. And so I did go there, particularly when he wanted a driver, I think. So I became a chauffeur for a year as well. Can I compliment Lee on his job as mayor last year, because he did a terrific job. He worked tirelessly, and I have nothing but praise for him. No, that's not the case. It's the case if you're going for the mayor of London, or I think as coming the mayor of Manchester, and it's going to be voted for by the public, but not for a local town council. I don't think you'll find any local town council that would have a mayor that's voted for by the public. Yeah. I think it's the role of the mayor. I think the role of the mayor is, first of all, you chair the town council. So at every meeting, I sit in the chair, and it's a representation more of the council than of the town. Do you know what I mean? And so I feel as if I'm representing the town council, hopefully in a positive light, rather than representing the town. I don't have any powers. It's more like a social thing rather than a political thing, if you know what I mean. And I think it's more pleasant, I think, than the politics. It's very nice to do it on a non-political basis, because I don't represent a party. I represent the council. It's mainly, I would say, strictly controlled. Obviously, different personalities will treat the mayor's job in different ways. So I suppose my personality will make me do it differently to everybody else. But as Lee did last year, he was very much, did it his way. But basically, your job is to do it as well as you can, and not disgrace the council. Well, it's as I say, it's basically with my personality. I believe in tolerance. I believe in acceptance of people. I don't like judgmental people. I don't like to sit in judgment on someone. And I feel that everybody should be treated equally, regardless of what they are. You know, it doesn't matter whether you're the Prime Minister or whether you're someone who cleans his toilet. You should be treated with equal civility. And it doesn't matter what race or religion you are. You should always treat people with respect. And I believe that in this world, although a lot of the papers are bad news all the time, I really feel that most people within the world are good people, and it's a very small minority that are causing all the unrest. I've chosen Butterwick Hospice, which I suppose is a very common one for the mayors of Bishop Auckland, but I've worked as a volunteer at Butterwick for 10 years. I've done reception, I've done fundraising, and I actually run a bereavement support group. And so it's a charity that's very, very dear to me. Although I personally, I haven't had a relation or a friend that's used the hospice. I know many people who have, and it's a very, very worthwhile cause. I also, 2 years ago, I did some Dementia Friends champion training, and so I'm interested in promoting Dementia Friends in the area. And so I am, maybe not the bulk will perhaps go to the hospice, but a small part of it will go to Dementia Friends, because it's a very wise, I think it's a good thing to do. We're trying to get as many organisations as possible. Now the Bishop Auckland College are all dementia friendly, and they have some dementia friendly champions working from there, and we're looking at things like the hospitals and the fire station, police services, and all the local shops as well. We would like to make it dementia friendly town. We were the first dementia friendly council, or got that status, in the county, so we're very pleased about that. And it's largely due to the assistant town clerk, Sheila Horner, who has done a fabulous job. And you have raffles and you have tombolas and things like that. So, if anybody would like to donate any raffle prizes or tombola prizes, everything would be gratefully accepted. And so there are various functions that we do: quiz nights, comedy nights, and the ball, obviously. So various things to try and get money off people for the charity. Well, I hope so, but I can't say I'm going to be in as much as Lee, because we started calling it the Brownson Press because he was in it so much. And it was really fun. We used to look through and say, how many times do you think you're in it this week? And he just loved it. So I hope to appear in it. I'd like to think I was in it as much, but I very much doubt I could do it as much as Lee.